Hi, we're going to do a science craft portion for our B is for Breathe book about big feelings. The book is by Dr. Melissa Munro Boyd, and right now we're going to do the letter G, which is right here. G is for create a glitter jar or another craft. Use water, glitter, glue, food coloring. Make, shake, watch, and relax as the glitter settles. So that's what they did. But there are so many ways to make these bottles. And I don't have any glitter in my house. But that doesn't mean that I can't make a bottle and enjoy watching all of the movement of the water. So we're going to make one using the things that I find around my house, and that you can copy what I'm doing, but you can also go find your own things. And one of the neat things that you can do just before you make one of these bottles is a science experiment about what things float and what things sink. So you can grab a whole bunch of things and guess which ones are going to float, staying at the top of where the water is, and which things will sink, going to the bottom of the bottle, or a tub of water if you want to. So you make your guess, and then you try it out, you test them, and then you write down, did it really float or did it sink? That's a really fun experiment that you can do with kids ages 2 to 10, because there are so many great things about the scientific method that always need to be practiced. Okay, so now we're gonna make our glitter bottle though. And I'm going to start with these pipe cleaners. Do you see what I've done to them? Sometimes at the store they're called chenille pipes or chenille cleaners. And I am just cutting them up. There's little strips of metal inside, and then they're fuzzy. And so I thought that they would kind of be nice for looking a little bit like glitter. We'll get to see if they float or not. And then I made some confetti by using my hole puncher and a piece of paper. So I just punch holes all in a row, just like that. And then I carefully take this off, and look at all of the, look at that. The paper collected all of the hole punch for me, hole punches, and I'm just going to dump them through the funnel. That way they all get into the bottle. That's better than me trying to fit them in myself. Go on in there. Nice job. All right, so we have these. The next thing I'm going to add are some marbles. And just plop them in there. So I've got a bunch of things in there now. Next thing I'm going to add is some oil. The reason why I'm adding the oil is because oil and water do not mix well. And so they are separate. And they really, you can see how they're separate in the bottle. And it'll be neat to mix them up and then watch them separate. And the last thing I'm going to add, well, I guess it isn't the last thing because I'm going to add some food coloring, but I'm going to add the water in it. Ooh, I've got to be careful, and I don't want to go all the way to the top because I want some room. I am making a big mess as I pour, but that is why I was sure to have a towel ready to go. Go. Get all that water cleaned up. Is it okay to spill? Yeah. We just have to help clean it up after we've spilled. So I'm getting my table nice and dry again. We can start again. That was a hard thing to pour. And now I'm going to add some food coloring. We've actually done this experiment once before, this project once before, and I added food coloring and I made it so dark that we couldn't see all of these wonderful things floating inside. So I'm going to add food coloring again, but this time I'm going to go just a tiny bit. Boop. just like that. There's only one drop in there, and we'll shake it up and see how that looks. So the last step in making your bottle, you really, really need a grown-up. And that is because we're going to tape it closed. This is a really fun thing to use when your feelings are so big and you want to help yourself calm down. But your feelings are going to get even bigger if you end up shaking this and water goes everywhere. That would be something that you would have to then help clean up, because mistakes happen. But I don't think it would help keep your feelings calm. And I want that for you. So we're going to tape the top. You want to make sure that a grown-up checks it and make sure that it is nice and tight. I tested mine and mine was not so tight. So there it is, nice and tight. You're going to want to make sure that that tape stays in place. And then we have, and look at that one drop of food coloring. Do you see how it's mixing? That's a pretty neat thing to watch all by itself. Oh, you know, the one thing I forgot to add was our soap. Because soap will make bubbles. When you shake it, we would have made bubbles, and I forgot to add it. Let's shake it up and see what we have without those bubbles. Are you ready? When we shake it up, we can kind of see how the water is sort of like how our feelings get inside of us. They're moving around so quickly and they're getting all mixed together, and we can feel that way sometimes, but feelings are always changing. And you can remember that when you feel super angry or super scared or super sad. It's just like shaking this up. Oh my goodness, everything is going everywhere. There's no top and there's no bottom. It's just moving, moving, moving. But it will change, and you will see how it will settle. And your feelings will change again. And you can trust that new feelings will come. These hard feelings won't last forever. You see how it gets nice and calm in here? You can see the oil at the top, the red paper that's working like confetti, that's all at the top. And the marbles, can you see them? They're down here at the bottom. You can make more than one of these shaking bottles and make them different colors. You can have a green one and a yellow one. What other colors do we have? There's red and yellow and blue and green. You can mix those together like we did with our paints and see if we can make brand new colors. You can add soap to make bubbles. You can make it more oil. See, I just have a little bit of oil and a lot of water. You could see what would happen if you would do half oil and half water. You can add glitter. I didn't have any glitter, but maybe you do. You can add glue to see how that changes and how it moves around. You can play and experiment with these all the time. Just make sure that you check with a grown-up and that your lid is on tightly, because you don't want to shake this and have it spill everywhere. That could kind of change how your hour is spent. I would like to see pictures of your shaking bottles. Here's mine. Talk to you later. Bye.